All right, so we have already discovered how to do an Ajax call using just plain old HTML. Well, now we're going to do that same Ajax API call with jQuery, and I think you're going to find this a lot easier. So I'm in W3 Schools, and there's a lot going on here, but really the only part that has to do with the Ajax is this line right here. So this is taking care of the whole thing that we did before, where it's creating an Ajax call. It's sending a URL request. On success on return of that request, the method is putting into this variable called result not only our JSON string, but has converted it into a JSON object. So it's done a lot of the heavy lifting for us. And in this case, it's just putting the result into the HTML, or this is the inner HTML of the div1. So, which is not really where we're going to head, but just for simplicity, I'm going to copy all of this code and I'm going to put it into, into the code we started on our last video. All right, so I'm going to start above our H1 click that we did before, and I'm just going to paste that whole kit and caboodle in here. Okay, I am going to do something different here, so I'm going to delete that. All right, so now I am concerned about the URL. So we need to go get the URL from Movies database. I think I showed you in a last video how to do that. And so I'm going to go back in here and try to refresh our memory on how we do that. And so now I'm going to go back to the moviedb.org. And once you get logged on, remember that you can come to this icon here that has your profile and settings. And if I click on that icon and go down to settings, I need to get my personal API key. So I'm going to go to API and locate my personal key, which is this one right here. I'm going to Control-C, copy it. And then I'm going to scroll back up to the top here and look for this gray API menu item. Click on the API item. And then I'm going to go down here to this link that says developers, the moviedb.org. I'm going to click on that. And then there's lots of different API calls that can be made from this website, but let's all use the same one. And the easiest one for our purposes, I think, is if we go to movies. And then I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to choose Get Now Playing, and I'm going to click on this API. So this is the API I'm interested in, and this is the one we're going to use for the assignment. And then I'm going to click on Try It Out and paste my API into this API key box. And then here is the request that I need. And that's what I'm going to send to my Ajax call. I'm going to click on Send Request just so I can see the results. And I want to remind you that what we're getting back here, if we look at the JSON response that we're getting an object called, a property called results. And one of the first results properties is an array. So there's an array of, there's actually 20 movies in here, and each movie is contained within an object. So in order to get at each movie, I'm going to have to access each element of the array, which is going to return an object. And then I can drill down to that object's property to get the value. So just looking here, I can see that my title is in a property called original title. So this results of the first array element, which is 0, results of 0, dot original title will give me Joker. Results of 1 dot original title will give me Maleficent, Mistress of Evil. So let's just keep going with this thought and we'll see how it works. So I'm going to highlight this, Control-C. I don't think I'm going to need that anymore, so I'll just minimize it. And then I'm going to paste that into our request right here. All right, and Control-V. Okay. And so now what's going to happen, out of curiosity, before I even do anything with it, I'm pretty sure that if I click on refresh my page, I should be able to go to network, and I should be able to find that API request, which is down here. And when I click on it, I'm going to look at response, and I should see again that response. So now I know I got the data from the movies DB and it has been returned to me. And so I can see that results again of 0. See my array numbers here. So results of 0. And then if I scroll down, I have access to all of these properties and original title. And I think in the assignment, I'm also asking you to get the overview. So there's the overview. And then the secret decoder ring, I'm going to let you figure out how to get the image for that particular movie. But I'm going to deal with these in the short run. All right, so now I know that I have that results, that it did come back. So now I need to do something with it. And remember that it came back in, coincidentally, all the names are the same. It came back into this variable called result. So in actuality, I need to get result and then results of 0. So let's just put this on paper. All right. So let's see. I'm going to create for demonstration another H1 tag. And in that H1 tag, I'm going to put the results of, I'm going to put that title so you can see that happening. All right, so we're going to do, I'll just do a div ID of, I'll just call it H1. Well, we could just put title or something. I guess that makes more sense. Okay, so ID of movie title. All right, so in this div, I'm going to place the title. All right, so referring back to what we decided over here. Let's see if I can, oh, there we go. All right, so in that variable result, I have results. And I know that's confusing because those are all named the same, but that's how it happened to come across. So let me get this div in my hand. So I'm going to use jQuery to do that. So use the $sign and then my selector, which is an ID, so that's a £, and then title is the name of that selector. So with this, that's grabbing this div, and I'm going to do text, and inside the text, I'm going to put that value. So remember, I have to drill down. So result is what I got back. So result dot, which gives me all of these results, this entire JSON object, which happens to be called results with an S. So results, and then I need to get at an individual array item. So if I get it array 0, then I can drill down to this particular movie. If I get it array at 1, I can drill down to that movie. So I'm going to do results of 0, and then dot, and I think we said it was original, I cannot spell, original underscore title. All right, so let's see if that happened. So let me clear this out. And sure enough, you can see Joker there. So if you look at the results and you do, maybe 1 and save, now you can see I have Maleficent. So you could do the same thing with overview. So if I did 0, and I think one of those was called overview. So you see we're getting those values returned. Okay, so this is the tricky part now, is not necessarily the Ajax call anymore because jQuery made it super easy for us. But it's actually looking at those results and figuring out what you need in order to drill down to get the specific values that you need. So in the next video, we'll do a little bit more on what to do with those results to help print out maybe some data.